Well, nothing says the holidays like a beautifully decorated Christmas tree. And of course, underneath the tree is a model railroad, a little train coming around here. Now, if you're into model railroads, there's one place you must visit. It's just outside Flemington, about 2 hours from our area. It is Northlandz. It is a mecca for model railroads. Let's go and investigate. Well, I'm standing here in B Canyon, which is part of a whole complex that makes up a world record display. Behind me is Patrick Bentz, who's the manager here. Patrick, this is absolutely amazing.
That it is. It is a place that is very unique in the world.
It actually feels like we're in a canyon. This is a model.
Yes, well, it's a canyon that's about 25 feet deep. It's part of the world's largest model railroad display.
And I gather a Guinness
It's
World
a Guinness record, yes.
Absolutely. Now, but this is obviously the love of some enthusiasts, and I think enthusiasm is not right. This is a mega, I don't know what to say, obsession.
Yes, this was built by a gentleman by the name of Bruce Williams Zaccanino. He originally started with a model railroad in the basement of his house. Wasn't satisfied with what he built, so he wanted a bigger one. So he added a second basement and filled it, and then a third basement, and then a fourth basement. Then was encouraged to move it to a larger location outside of his home. So he bought the property here just outside of Flemington. Then he spent 5 years building this humongous model railroad.
All by himself, that guy?
All by himself.
Which is just amazing.
Yes.
He actually comes from our area where the station is.
He grew up, I think, in Dunmore.
So let's go and see Scranton in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Patrick, is this the shape of things to come, or is it the revenge of a guy from Dunmore?
It could be either. In this case, I think it was just part of Bruce's vision of a big city, and he named it after his home.
The skyscrapers, they're fairly simple in design, but it gives that impression of, you know, Manhattan. It really is very interesting.
Yeah, and we've got, you know, sounds that pop up when you push a button.
Street sounds, yeah.
Street sounds.
Well, Patrick, I see trains running everywhere. I see lights coming on. There must be some control center to run this operation.
There is. All of these trains, all 70 of them at the moment, are controlled from one location.
All right, why don't we have a look at that?
Let's do that.
Well, Patrick, this is pretty impressive. So this is the master control room.
That it is, yeah. We control just about all of the trains that we run here from this location.
You have to clean the track.
We have to clean the track. Actually, almost every train here has a track cleaning car that it pulls right behind the engine, and there's just a little pad that it drags along, and it picks up the grunge that's on the track.
Well, Patrick, I see there's yards and yards of track here. Tell us about the track, because it's really quite important.
Well, we have approximately 8 miles of track here at Northlandz. It was all donated to us by the Atlas Model Railroad Company based here in New Jersey. They donated it in 3-foot sections of track, many hundreds of those. And Bruce laid the track and connected them together to create the loops of various length and, you know, size.
And the bends and the curves.
The flex track actually will bend, and their track is very good at it. I like using it myself. But you can bend it, and then you tack it down to keep the shape you want, and then you solder one end to, you know, the end of one to the one you're finished with, and if you do it right, you'll get a nice smooth curve.
When you lay it down. Some of the curves are excellent. Yeah. Really, really nice.
And Bruce named this area here after the Atlas Model Railroad Company. This is Atlas Canyon.
Well, Patrick, every scene seems to tell a different story, yeah?
That's the way they were created. And this is Grandma's pit, talking about an old lady who didn't want to sell her home to the company who wanted to excavate the pit. All over the place, there's references to Grandma. She's all over. In fact, our scavenger hunt that we give to the kids when they come in, they get a chance to help Grandma find her treasure because she can't remember where it is.
Patrick, this is phenomenal, and I think I actually kind of recognize. Tell us about this bridge.
This bridge is based on an actual bridge in Scotland called the Firth of Forth Bridge, which spans the Firth of Forth. We've got a couple trains that take turns running across it, and then 3 trains, you know, running underneath it as it spans the harbor.
Each little piece was hand glued together.
Yes.
Absolutely remarkable.
I believe Bruce built a template for each side. In this case, he probably used it to build each of the main support structures, and then, you know, used balsa to attach them together.
Well, we've just actually only seen a glimpse of Northlandz. And if people want to visit, how will they come here, Patrick?
Well, again, we're located just outside of Flemington on US Highway 202. We're open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and we will be open all week between Christmas and New Year's.
Fantastic. And it really does inspire. If
Right.
you had someone starting, so what would you suggest a model railroad?
I would recommend getting a good quality starter set and a piece of plywood.
Plywood.
And just set it up on that, and you can grow on that. They learn through the process of building a railroad. They build another one and build another one, and some people will build tons of them, and some people will build one, and it just keeps growing.
Well, Patrick, this is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And if you do get a chance to visit Northlandz down here in Flemington, take it. Well, I've hitched a ride on Santa's Express here. Don't go away, we've got a lot more from the Christmas special here at Home and Backyard.